What is going on, Lakers fam? This is your boy Jay Lake, bringing you Lakers all day, all the time. If you haven't yet, please go ahead and click on that like and subscribe button down under, and any comments will be much appreciated. Again, thanks for coming on, you guys. Albert,
Thank you, Jay Lake.
Mario,
AJ Lake, thank you.
and Dan.
Hey, thanks, Jay Lake. Happy to be back.
So, we did this last time with our beer night. During our loss, tonight will be alcohol night. As you can see over here, I have my good old friend Jameson whiskey. I didn't have Coke, so I decided to go with some iced tea tonight. So I have iced tea and whiskey. What are you guys drinking?
Oh,
In the
iced tea and
South, they
whiskey.
call
How's
that a
that?
Lynchburg lemonade.
That's
Lynchburg, huh?
Lemonade.
Oh, okay.
Man. I've never had that
Yeah.
actually, but
Yeah.
That sounds
for me,
delicious,
I'm
actually.
having tequila ocho rapasado
Reposado.
on ice.
Hey, I'm following
on the
you
rocks.
too, Big Al. I got La Cretona, Reposado as well. Cool fun fact about this one. This one was all made by women, actually. It's women owned and women made. And actually really good. Added to free with a cool little bottle as well. You know, you can get it at Total Wine or Bevmo. So I like it. Drinking it tonight.
Nice. I like that fun fact.
And, for me, in the winter, I drink whiskey, but in the summer, I'm a gin man. And this is a Negroni that's made with Citadelle from France
Oh,
in honor of
François.
Victor Wembanyama winning the first pick, which we already knew and is going to the Spurs.
Rigged.
Yeah,
Our
we all
arch
knew
rival.
that. That's true.
So today we're just gonna kind of go over game summary. We're gonna do the stars, our role players, and kind of what adjustments we need to make for the Nuggets during the next game, because that was a rough loss. I mean, kind of roller coaster like our whole entire season. We were down, played from behind the whole entire game. Every single time we got into single digits, Nuggets pulled away again. Not until the end, that fourth quarter, where we made a 12-2 run, leading from two errant passes from Joker, some fumbled shots. We cut the lead down to 3 with 112 left in the game. But ultimately, we lost 132 to 126.
Yeah, it was I think right from the get-go, the game was not going well. I didn't understand why Darvin Ham started those three guards. I think he wanted to see what would happen because they played well in that Golden State series, but there's some big players over there, and I didn't understand that move.
Yeah, he has to know like the size difference here. You go to three guards like that. I wasn't sure if he just didn't know what he was going to do against Denver, and decided to go with the hot roster that just beat the Warriors. I don't know. That's kind of mind-boggling here. I mean, it's a different team. They're not the Warriors at all. They're much bigger. They're more efficient, in my opinion. Going small like that against this Denver team with Jokic, it wasn't good. And there's a saying. You don't win the game in the first half, but you can lose it. And I felt like for the Lakers, they kind of lost it, in the first half. I think LeBron mentioned, it was too little, too late. Paraphrasing here, they're playing catch up the entire game. So that's what I feel like what happened here. I hope next game the adjustments are made.
I think with those two statements, it goes hand in hand. You can lose in the first half and then pretty much lose the game, and at the same time, Big Al saying he's going with this master plan. I think Darvin Ham was trying to throw a wrench into the Denver Nuggets whole game plan by putting in Schroeder and having those three guards start, knowing damn well that the whole team is shorter than the rest, and they're one of the best rebounding teams in the whole league. So I think he was trying to do his like Dr. Evil moment, thinking he was going to do something really special and something new. But I honestly feel that Darvin Ham just tried to throw something in there and it didn't work out for him, knowing dang well that the MVP, Aaron Gordon, Jamal Murray, they've been ready for this game. So I feel Darvin Ham did something to just kind of give the Lakers a little bit of a disadvantage at the beginning of the game.
I understand that a little bit, but guys, they got out rebounded 13-36 in the first half.
Yeah,
I
I
mean, you
mean,
make your adjustment. I mean, you tried it out in one half, and then they got blown out in the second half again. Like that unit did not work well at all. I don't understand why he threw it out there again in the second half. It was ridiculous.
And
Yeah,
even with that, Nikola got 16 rebounds, and the Lakers had 13. So even if the rest of the team didn't rebound, Nikola did everything already.
he did. He had a triple double mid
Yeah.
third quarter, or maybe it's beginning of third quarter. I can't remember. I think it was mid third quarter. He had a triple double already. I mean, he
Mhm.
was out bringing. Yeah, I mean, he's should have been MVP in my opinion. You see why watching him play, and just how good he is at the passing he does, and the rebounding, the second chance points, and even don't forget about the threes. Oh my God, the guy hit it in threes. Like I don't think he'll do it again, but I mean, wow. I
I
mean,
mean,
yeah, exactly. Darvin Ham needs to make those mid-game adjustments a lot sooner and not wait till game two to make those adjustments. He needs to do them in game. To call timeout, change it up, because if you wait game after game with adjustments, it's going to be a long series.
I mean,
And
yeah, I saw a tweet by Bill Simmons that said, not Ja, I'm sorry, Jaleel, Joel Embiid, it does not like this first half or this game that Nikola put up because it makes him look,
inferior.
it just inferior to him. I mean, the last game we saw Joel Embiid, he barely did anything, and here's Nikola just destroying one of the best defensive players in the game in AD, and it just it's incredible.
It's kind of funny post game. Caldwell Pope, Caldwell, her favorite ex Laker,
Yeah,
Caldwell Pope
KCP.
in the KCP. He in the post game, instead of most people comparing people to LeBron James, he compared LeBron to Nikola. That's a little that that's a little backstabby, and I kind of like that because it only gonna infuriate the king.
Yeah, is
But
he poking the bear, Dan?
yeah, I feel that there's that big difference between KCP and Dylan Brooks because he actually hits shots, and he respects
That's
himself.
true.
Um, but yeah, that'd be something that it would be funny to watch because I mean, you don't say that, and to top that all off, at the NBA All Star game, LeBron James also said Nikola was Mr. Triple Double when he was elected into there. So it's something to bring up that he respects him just as much.
Wait, didn't Jokic didn't get picked
He didn't
in the
get
All-Star
picked,
game?
but at the end of it, when he finally let him into that side, he said, "Oh, that's Mr. Triple Double."
I mean,
So,
I think Jokic just said, "Hey, whatever, I want to be on this team." He walked over there, bro. I don't think he was picked at all.
oh no, he definitely wasn't. No, he definitely wasn't.
Yeah, Joker was extra hype for this game. Ever since that bubble championship, and Batman coming from you, Joker. He kind of had a chip on his shoulder, and he wanted to prove, I'm MVP for a reason, and let me show you. So he came out with force. But so that we finally escaped that dreaded 3 guard lineup, right? Throughout the season, we complained about it and we were frustrated, and finally it was gone. But then Warriors, the last couple games, it started working out for us, and we brought it back. It's because in contrast, right? So the Joker, he's 6'11". You go down the line. Um, 6'10", 6'8", all the way down to Jamal Murray at 6'4", right? But if you look at the Warriors, Looney's, he's at 6'9". You have Clay, Green, 6'6", all the way down to Steph, 6'2". Grizz, they didn't have Adams, so, same situation. They just had Jaren Jackson Jr. But, he's stuck with that 3 guard lineup, and it didn't work. There was a lot of times in that first half where our defensive assignment wasn't working because whenever they switch, AD has to switch to who? Dennis Schroeder, Austin Reeves to guard Joker. That's not going to work, right? I mean, it wasn't until that second half really that we put Rui in there, and he started fumbling away some balls, and he wasn't able to make some passes. And AD became that secondary defender and stole some of those passes, and that's what to me kind of won that second half for us.
I mean, look, I think we talked about it a little bit when we previewed the series that I thought that AD was not going to be should not be the one that's guarding Nikola because maybe in clutch moments in like tight moments at the end of the games, but I think AD is better off being the secondary defender, still staying in the paint, guarding the paint. because Nikola is going to be out there. He's going to be setting screens. He's going to be, moving a lot, and he's a big part of their offense. So I still think that, AD's better off ball, helping out and be, still intimidating with his size. So, and that's what we saw when they had success. Rui was just small enough so that, it forced Nikola to take advantage of the size matchup, but then AD was right there to deflect any shots, to alter shots, and to clean up the boards. And they were pretty successful in that. Now, I wonder what's going to happen if they take out Aaron Gordon and they put in a the other forward that can shoot over there. I'm blanking on his name right now. It's
Michael Porter Jr. Or are you talking
no,
about
no, Jeff Green. Jeff Green.
Jeff Green? Jeff Green.
Yeah, Jeff Green can shoot. So if they put Jeff Green in there, it's going to be interesting to see how they'll do. But this is actually, even though it was a good sign for the Lakers, it does preview for Michael Malone what the Lakers are going to throw at them in Game 2. So, he is going to make the adjustment, and that's we're going to have to just make the adjustment quicker.
Yeah, but I don't think he's going to bench Gordon. I don't think so. I don't see that. I mean, we have to make Gordon beat us, to be honest, and I'm okay with that. If Gordon beats us, then whatever, he beats us. But we got to stop Jokic. And I think you're right. You made a good valid point. AD is best when he hops on defense as a free roaming safety, right? He comes in secondary, hops out with the blocks. He comes in with the rebounds. And I think in 2020, when that's when they faced in the playoffs, West Conference Finals, wasn't it Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee guarding Jokic? Right? And AD was that guy coming in, helping secondary. So I wonder why we didn't follow that blueprint again, which is kind of weird. So
I,
obviously we don't the last time we don't have someone that size again, right? Rui is not as big as Dwight Howard or as tall as JaVale McGee. Tristan Thompson, who I think is the tallest one on the bench, maybe Mobamba. I can't remember the heights. But Rui did really well. He's a strong bodied. He's shorter, but he's strong. He can hold his own, and we saw a recipe for success. Now you made a valid point. What if Denver makes the adjustment, sees that, and starts Jeff Green? I don't think they do that. I think they put Jeff Green in more minutes, but I don't think they start off with that. And it looks like our runs though happen when they come with their second string. When their starting five is on, we just stink, to be honest. So I'm hoping, Rui gets on Jokic and AD. We start from the beginning with this adjustment and we take it forward, and our defense helps us win the game for game 2.
mean, I'll be the first one to say I think Anthony Davis was supposed to guard, and I think I said that in our last pod about
Mhm.
I think whenever Nicola's out there, AD's guarding him. But I only time I could see this kind of making sense is the comparison. And before we go into that, I want to go and commend you guys in saying that Dwight Howard, JaVale McGee was really big because we had that twin tower. Dwight is very physical. AD is kind of a finesse blocker, finds an open seam to go and be basically that free safety with the block in the background. But I think you're right. I think we put in another big and we just kind of muscle him in, put in Gabriel, maybe even put in Tristan Thompson to give him a little bit of push around. That'd be a big help. But to further say how Rui helped out, if we go back, forget the year, but the Dallas Mavericks versus the We Believe Warriors when they were the 8th seed. Do you remember that Dwight or Dirk Nowitzki had the hardest time playing against Baron Davis?
Yeah.
And it was because Baron was more athletic, more physical, and Rui's kind of that. Rui's kind of pretty athletic. I think we all can agree with that. Pretty physical because he's played in a different era. But we all know that Joker is definitely very much more of a finesse and efficiency guy. So if he sees an opening, he'll take it. But that when he's getting bothered by someone smaller where he can't see where his hands may be because he's not as tall as him, I think that's going to be a big benefit. So I agree. I think Rui will definitely help out in the end. If they bring in Jeff Green, I don't think that's really going to do much. Let's put it this way: Jeff only shot one, hit one. Aaron Gordon from 3, he was 0 of 3. He's also
Yeah.
was 50% from the line. So I think they're going to stick with that until they have a reason to put Jeff Green in there for Aaron. So other than that, I agree with that. I think there's many points to it. I say for game 2, always game 1's a feel out game for a lot of these teams. I feel for game 2, if that Rui situation isn't going, go back to that JaVale and Dwight Howard thing. Bring in Gabriel, bring in Tristan. See that muscle, that difference, and just have him out there for fouls. Because if anything, if
Yeah.
he's going to win at the line, he's going to win at the line. But so are we. So that's how it's going to go.
I feel
Agree.
like the Lakers, we just need that player that'll like punch him in the mouth. Like Vogel said a couple years ago. It's like our defense. It's like you better be ready to get punched in the mouth or punched in the nose. It doesn't matter if it's Dub G, Wenyan Gabriel, or Tristan Thomas, but they gotta play physical. They gotta get in his grill. They gotta push him around. It's just like AD. Whenever he plays those smaller players, but they get physical with him, he doesn't do well. He shoots those fadeaway threes or fadeaway shots, and it just doesn't work.
Hey, but AD this game did really well, though. I mean, come on, we gotta give props to AD. I'm not going to say anything bad about AD. He did well. He scored 40 points, right? I think that was his stat line was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
40, 10, 3 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks. You can't really beat that.
Yeah. That's what we asked him to do, right? That's what we asked him to. And so we always get on him for his offense throughout the postseason. But game one, he did everything he could to win this game. And we had a chance to win it. And we'll talk about later about who we really blame at the end for losing that game.
I mean, to be fair, Denver they're not a very good defensive team. They're an offensive machine. And that's where we need to be better at is our defense. We were number 1 in defensive rating and number 1 in the playoffs. And we just got torched.
But we were mismatched, though, bro. We were
132.
mismatched. That's why. It was a mismatch.
But
there's a lot of yes and no to that comment because we were down 21 in the third, and then we made it a 3-point game. Mm-hmm. So our defense played huge in that. I think it comes to that statement, we make the adjustments defensively for sure because, like you said, the Nuggets are a 100% offense juggernaut. But on top of that, I also want to point out they're a rebounding juggernaut, as we pointed out in the first half. So I think those are defensive. If you go back to the 2 previous series with the Nuggets, with the Suns and the Timberwolves have Rudy Gobert and Karl Anthony Towns. They had a hard time rebounding that. So I think even bringing size out will definitely help us out a lot.
I mean, so it seems like Darvin Ham's playing that checkers and Mike Malone's playing that chess, at least for that first half. Rookie head coach, he's learning on the fly. Early in the season, it seems like he would take months, if not weeks, to kind of make those adjustments. Right? We're griping about he's not calling timeout soon enough. He's not making those adjustments. He's not. There's problems on the defensive assignments or the rotation adjustments, and he's not doing anything. So it seems like once the playoffs kind of hit, then he's making those adjustments game to game. This is round 3, kind of like LeBron said. In the playoffs, it's like video games where each round is a certain level, and the higher level you get to, the more difficult it becomes. So for this game, he made an adjustment for that first half to the second half. But, I mean, you have LeBron James as your on-the-court kind of extension of your coach. He needs to accelerate that learning curve, and it should be pretty obvious when you run a 3-guard lineup. It's not going to work against Denver. You see their size, right?
Yeah, that lineup was – I don't understand it again. But, LeBron has taken rookie coaches to the finals before. LeBron definitely is Superman. I mean, not so much anymore. He's still a very effective player, still, top 5 playing right now in the playoffs. He's not the same guy that he once was, and that's probably because of the foot. But, he's still very effective in this game other than the 3-point percentage, not really hitting the threes this year. At least in the playoffs since his injury, he hasn't been effective there. He has to clean up his turnover game. He turns the ball over too much at times, and he has to be more selective on his shots. But he's still an efficient player, and back to Darvin Ham. Darvin Ham's got to be better as well.
Yeah, I mean the adjustments have been made on the fly. I mean, I noticed too first half. And actually until the second half as well, not until the fourth quarter, I believe, they were going under the screen. You guys notice that? You guys notice how like Schroeder, all of them? I think because Ham was telling them to go under the screen. I don't know why, but they kept doing that. That's when Jamal Murray was hitting those threes. right? Or any of Michael Porter Jr. These guys, the defenders, are going under the screen. What didn't they learn from the Warriors? Go over the screen when you have shooters like that on top. You gotta go over the screen, contest them somehow. And I seen in the fourth quarter, I think Schroeder went on top of the screen, above the screen, and that's when they playing lockdown defense, and they're missing the threes finally. Again, this should have been done a while ago. Those adjustments, right? So Ham with adjustments need to be quicker in game for the chance for Lakers to win the series.
No, I completely agree. I mean, the adjustments, especially with that high pick and roll. I think me and Mario were talking about it during the game. I was saying that's literally their only two plays is Joker at the high post, pick and roll, just literally guards running around him and just finding the backdoor screen or just the off body pick, him holding the ball. And the only other play is all the players on the perimeter and they just find the open guy. Somebody drives because once Joker's out, who's out of the lane? AD, LeBron,
AD.
anybody down there. So if you watch the recap on a lot of these analysts, they all agree with that. One play, Joker will literally lag back when they're coming down on offense, just so Bruce Brown, Jamal Murray can go and cut through the lane, and who's open when he throws the pass out. KCP, you know, people like that in the corner. You don't want any of that. Bruce Brown, Christian Braun, like those guys knock it down. They shot, I believe, from three. They shot 46.9%. Wasn't much better than the Lakers. The Lakers shot 45, but 46.9%. That already is a huge gap considering they took 32 threes. They're going to hit more, especially with the wide open ones that they have. So it's definitely the adjustments defensively. Lastly, again, going back to that big defensive front that we should probably put out there, a tweet that I saw that was really influential was in the first half, Jamal Murray, Bruce Brown have 31 points. Schroeder, D'Angelo, and Reeves combined for 10. So 3 guards, 10 points, 2 guards, 31. Huge.
I mean,
Yep.
Reeves ended up with 23, so he did show up, but definitely, I don't know. The Lakers, they weren't so great at 3-point shooting in the first 2 rounds, but in this game, they shot 45%, nearly 46. Are we going to see them hit that percentage again in game 2?
No.
I mean, and if they don't, where are the points going to come from? Are they going to come from, D'Lo, who only had 8 points tonight? I mean, to me, he's the shaking my head player of this game. I mean, he was disappointing. He wasn't efficient, wasn't that great defensively. And I don't know where the points are going to come from if they're not going to hit 46% from 3.
The points come from the free throws. To be honest, they should come from the free throws. They should go from driving in, going to the paint, and getting the foul, and they should make their free throws. We all know Lakers can't shoot threes. I mean, it's not a surprise. Are we surprised? I'm surprised they made that much the last game, to be honest. And I'm saying right now, LeBron should not be shooting threes at all. He's the best driver in the game, and especially at the end of the game. Actually, the whole game is posting Murray the entire time, getting that matchup, posting him. And what happens at the end of the game? Who was on him? And he shoots
Jamal
a 3.
Murray. Yeah.
Jamal.
I don't get it.
But
Dude,
if he did make it, then we wouldn't be talking about that, right?
He ain't making it. We all know that.
Yeah.
We all know he's
Yeah.
not making it, bro. Come on. We all know that.
We all
He's
know.
not making that.
We all know he's not making them.
We all know he's not making that shot. I don't understand how he doesn't drive in on him, get the foul, hit the free throws. I mean, come on.
Why do you
he's
think
been in the league 20
LeBron?
years.
Why do you think LeBron took 4 threes though? Because
tired.
D'Lo was 0 for 3.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean he's
So he had to
player,
make up
teammate.
those points that he expects. Yeah.
Okay, so what are Reeves at? They're their best 3-point shooters. I mean, honestly, I'd rather have Vando hit a 3 than LeBron. Let's put it that way at this point.
Lord.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'd rather have Vando hit a corner 3 than LeBron shoot a 3. I'm sorry, because I just can't stand him, especially that late in the game when you need to draw that foul. No, not unacceptable. 20 years, he knows this. He knows
I know that
this.
you brought up. I know you brought up the free throws, but the disparity is only 4 more free throws for the Lakers. The difference is we definitely shot better at the free throw line, but the 3 missed free throws were by your king and savior.
Yeah. I mean, I know
in
he
clutch
can't shoot
time.
threes.
In clutch time,
you're right. We all
Yeah.
know he's not a great
So if he's
free throw
driving and
shooter.
he's not making those at the line, what's the difference if he's shooting
But the
those at
chances
three?
are this: him making a free throw to a three, I'll take the free throw. The chances.
Okay. All right.
Okay, and and you're right. This game, the free throws, the difference was 4. You said, I think, for the
Yeah.
game
Just
one.
four.
Usually in the
Just four.
postseason, there's a big differential of free throws
Yeah.
attempted and made between the two
Yeah.
teams.
Yeah.
Usually, that's what I was kind of
Yeah.
going at. But again, you're right. This game, there wasn't that much separation. It was a differential was very minimal, and those 3 big free throws that are missed, yeah, by LeBron James.
And the majority of the 26 were in that fourth quarter when we got
Yeah.
them into foul trouble. So you also got to think it's clutch time. So I even said this to Mario when I was texting him. I was like, "Watch this go into OT," and then I saw LeBron miss three throws, and I'm like, "Whoa, that's not
Yeah,
happening."
never mind.
Yeah, I was like, "Watch this go into OT." I had no doubt because Austin was on his game hitting those threes, and then he had a heat check miss, which is fine.
Well, that
But
heat
then
check
when I
was kind
saw
of far
LeBron,
though.
yeah, he
I mean,
definitely
it was a
took
heat
an
check.
extra step to be like, "Yeah, let's
Yeah.
check me out. I'm him,"
Yeah,
and then he wasn't
Yeah.
yeah, it was a little kind of far for his range. I think it was outside of his range. Maybe a
a little
step
bit.
closer, he would hit that.
Oh
I just
yeah.
think it was a little out of his range.
So SMH player and Gripe. Big Al said SMH is D'Lo. Gripe for Mario is probably LeBron shooting threes. What else do you guys got for SMH and Gripe?
I think gripe
Um,
for me would be D'Lo. Honestly, I mean, you're a guard. You play your game off of this very smooth way of bringing the ball up and having these open looks and having a smooth jumper, and you go 4 of 11. That's a huge gripe for me. The SMH, LeBron's free throws, like clutch time free throws. The whole reason these guys got into the play-in, got into the playoffs, is their defense and their ability to get a 411 more free throws than the next best team. You have
mhm.
to hit those, especially in clutch time. So LeBron's free throws, I won't say LeBron. I think LeBron brought what he needed to, but definitely D'Lo would be my gripe in his shooting ability
And you know what's
that game.
surprising, Dan? You know what's surprising about that?
Uh,
I wasn't expecting D'Lo to do anything this game. Didn't cross my mind. I mean, I know it's a gripe, and now that you mention it, I'm like, yeah, he did nothing. He should have done more. But it's sad for me to expect nothing out of him. To be honest,
that is pretty
that's kind
sad.
of sad.
I'm not gonna lie, that's
That's
sad.
I,
that's pretty
I
sad.
expected nothing. I knew this is the performance he's going to give us game one. I mean, come on, let's be real. I mean, when we need him most, he's not there. When you think we don't need him, we'll find someone else. He shows up. It's the weirdest thing, So I'm gonna agree with you on that gripe, right? And obviously, you guys know my gripe with LeBron. I mean, he did it really well, everything well. But in the end of the game, right? The free throws, the 3-point shooting. I mean, we were there. We were done by 3, and we had time on our side. And I think he just mismanaged the last minute and a half, to be honest. And I think that's why we lost the game. To be honest, I think we had a chance. We had a chance to win this game and still won from down 21. And
Uh-huh.
LeBron misses these free throws that you have to make. Drive when you know you should drive, but you shoot a 3. I mean, again, you guys know me. I would bench LeBron sometimes.
Yeah, my biggest gripe was the starting lineup, the lineup,
That's a
basically
good
that
one, too.
lineup,
Yeah.
and then the second half not making the adjustment. Darvin Ham, please make the adjustments, okay? I mean, look, I give him credit for throwing in Rui in there and then letting him finish the game, but still, I mean, you got to make those adjustments quicker. It just for me, it was that was the biggest gripe for me.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
Amen.
Yeah,
Ham,
yeah.
you don't look at what happened to the Suns, right? Monty Williams, look at what the 76ers with Doc. It's like you don't want that same outcome for you, right?
Well, Doc chokes. I mean, let's be real. He just chokes
Yeah.
on the
Game
when the game
7,
matters.
he's got the worst record.
Game
or something
7,
like
he gets something in his throat for sure. So yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
something bad.
even if it's
So
3-2,
yeah.
he chokes, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's why he's done. And I feel bad for
yeah.
Monty. I do feel bad for Monty. I don't think it was fair for
Monty's
him
gonna
to be let go. I think he deserved at least another year on coaching the Suns. I just think he had a bad break from CP3 getting hurt. I know he's old, but he brings a leadership on the floor and floor general. But I think that was kind of unfair for Monty to be let go. As soon as the Bucks coach, what's his name again?
Mike
Budenholzer.
Thank you.
Budenholzer. Mike
Thank
Budenholzer.
you.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know how to think about that. I
I
mean, he's
mean,
won a championship. I don't
yeah,
know.
Budenholzer. I mean, I don't know, but for Monty, I think they let him go because there was disconnection with him and DeAndre Ayton, and then also the thing that happened earlier this year with what's that power forward that got traded? The small
Jay
forward power
Crowder.
forward. Jay Crowder, yeah.
Jake Crowder.
There was a disconnect there. They didn't really like each other, and basically, Ishibai putting in his guys. So
But you talking about role players? DeAndre, you over DeAndre?
he,
I mean, come on,
he
dude.
he's
He's
getting
a
paid a
hard.
I
lot of
agree.
money.
Big Al with Big Al said it's spot on, especially with at least DeAndre. There was definitely a disagreement with Monty. They were going to move him for Sabonis or Miles Turner about a year or two ago, which I think they should have because DeAndre, although he's still very young, he's raw, and I think Monty's the type of guy that takes players that know their role and go on. DeAndre's still out there trying to figure out if he's a power forward or a center. You can look that tweet up if you want. He actually labels himself as a power forward, not a center. Second thing is Jay Crowder. There goes. If you really want the story, is that they didn't want to extend his contract. They wanted to play out his year. He didn't want
That makes
that.
sense.
They're in the middle of selling the team from Sarv to Ishbia, and Crowder said, "I don't want to play unless I'm traded." And have a starting team. And where did he go? To go sit on and ride the pine for the Milwaukee Bucks. And good for him because now that team's out of the playoffs. Mike Budenholzer, there's a big story behind that too. I don't want to go take too much of the time on that, but there's a lot more in his personal life that's very sad. Probably the reason why his head wasn't in the game, and I wish him well. I think he'll be fine. Same with Monty.
Okay.
Doc Rivers, please
Yeah.
retire, or you go to Taiwan and coach Dwight Howard, please.
Yes. Dwight
So,
Howard's calling for him. They're calling
I
for
know.
everybody.
like Jay Crowder, that's the same thing with Thomas Bryant, right? He wanted more playing time in the Lakers. That's why he went over to Denver, and he's riding pine as well. My gripe and SMH, probably SMH is the same thing. D'Lo, he was on the court still in full uniform after the game, shooting shots. So I'm hoping that's game on, game off, game on, game off. So next game, I'm hoping he has a game on. For the gripe, it's just Darvin Ham. He needs to make those adjustments a lot sooner. If he made that adjustment in the second or even in the third sooner, it's like we just needed a little bit more time towards the end of the game, and we had a very good chance to win this game. But adjustment too slow, and that's what cost us the game. That first half, second half, it was a big difference, right? Altitude, I understand for altitude sickness, you have a lower oxygen content. You have nausea, headache, lightheadedness, fatigue from the high altitude. It is called Mile High City, so it's 5,000 miles above sea level. So that makes it difficult for us. In extreme cases, you get pulmonary edema. That's basically fluid building up, especially in the lungs. In order to compensate, you kind of breathe deeper, you breathe faster, and that's kind of what happened, right? I mean, first half, second half, do you guys think that's lack of adjustment, or is it just that altitude sickness, or lack of commitment, or what happened there?
I mean,
As
maybe
as a
Darvin Ham had some sickness in the head and forgot who he was starting. He thought he was playing Golden State or something.
Oh, that makes more
Probably
sense
good,
now.
Maybe
Yeah,
that's
that-
what
yeah.
happened.
Denver's not going to let that second half comeback happen next game, right?
Oh,
I
They're
mean,
gonna make
they're,
those
they're
adjustments.
I,
Those
100%.
adjustments.
they got the preview of what the Lakers will probably throw at them in game 2. So I expect them to be ready for whatever we throw at them. But Darvin Ham's got to be predictive of this as well. So
I mean, I get the altitude sickness. You hear about it, but let's be real. It might be a hot take. I don't know. These guys are professional athletes. Okay, they're in better shape than all of us. They can run for miles. We are just mere mortals compared to them in terms of athleticism and fitness, right? They have played in Denver before. This ain't the first time they played in Denver. They understand altitude. They know how to play, at high elevation. So us going to Denver and playing basketball in the park, we'd be dying. I get that. We've had some chance. They are professionals. Their fitness is on top of their game, and they have been in Denver before. This is the first time. If it was the first time, then I could get that excuse. Yeah, I just said, but we didn't see anybody in the sideline huffing and puffing. We just see the oxygen mask come on, the oxygen tank. You see in the NFL, these big old linemen needed that oxygen. No, these guys are in the gym, okay, regulated air, so I don't want to hear that give me an excuse. I'm sorry. I mean, I don't want to hear it. I just don't want to hear it. Dan, what do you think? For us,
No,
maybe, but not for them.
as the four of us, as somebody who works in nutrition on the side, I definitely have to agree with you because if you're getting paid millions of dollars, maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars, and you're the team's nutritionist, physical trainer, you're the weightlifting coach, you know where Denver is, you know how high it is, you know what to do. They had 3 days off. You don't think they didn't fly in 3 days prior and go into
Get acclimated, right? Yep.
pressure chamber to get them acclimated, drink chlorophyll, eat up a bunch of carbs. They're even talking about that pregame in with the announcers. They were saying the nutritionists 3 days in we're starting to overfeed the Lakers carbs because that helps with altitude sickness and overhydrating them. So like Mario said, nobody on the sideline had an oxygen mask off. No one looked like they were tired. Maybe, yeah, toward the end of the game, it's going to do that because, it definitely will affect people that are not in it all the time. But they're professionals. They have professionals on the sideline. So I don't see how that was a big, like, oh, all this and that because they stayed with them the whole game. Yeah, they got down 21. And then at the end of the fourth quarter, down 3. So I think at the end of the day, they still got a game tomorrow. Now that's almost a week in. They should be adjusted just fine. And then they're going to have, and I hope the right thing to do, if you're going to get $1 million franchise, $1 billion franchise, excuse me, of the Lakers, that you have a hyperbaric chamber in Los Angeles to keep these guys acclimated because they're coming back for game 5 and at least game 6, if anything. But like we said, this is their professionals. Like, why wouldn't they keep LeBron there? Why wouldn't they keep AD ready for that? This is not a high school game coming from California to Colorado.
Right?
These guys, yeah, these are professionals getting paid millions of dollars, and they have professionals with that team. So I absolutely believe what Mario says. Like the whole reason shouldn't be about altitude sickness. Although, like they said, they brought it up pregame. I always think, why wasn't that a thing back in the 80s and 90s? Denver was still there. So yeah.
I mean, this is like a story that always happens when there's a playoff game in Denver. They
Yeah.
talk about the altitude. So, I mean, this is just a media thing. I think the players and the coaching staff, everybody, the training staff, they all know about this. So, not a big deal. I think it's a bigger deal for recovery, in my opinion, than it is during the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The chamber on
messing with my in 5 prediction. So we need to step it up this next game. Let's wrap things up. So, we'll see you again next game, Lakers fam. Hopefully, we're going to take the next 4 in order to win in 5. You heard it here first on the Lake Show. Make sure you click on that like and subscribe button. See you next game.
Laters.
All right, take care.